Hi, I'm Mark Goodwin. I'm a lecturer in British politics in the Department of Political Science and International Studies here at the University of Birmingham. I want to talk a little bit about domestic policy issues arising in the forthcoming election. They've had a lower priority, given that the election has largely been about leadership questions and also Brexit, of course. But one of the things that the two main parties and all parties are trying to do is to develop the ideas for domestic policy. And the Labour Party and Conservative Party have taken very contrasting approaches to the development of domestic policy. So for the Labour Party, what we've seen so far in the campaign is a constant stream of new policy initiatives and new ideas, whereas the Conservatives prefer to avoid the question of policy wherever possible and focus on what they believe is their strong suit, which is the question of leadership, competence, the character of Theresa May, and their position on questions around Brexit as well. So for the Labour Party, their strategy of developing a lot of new policy initiatives has a number of advantages. It shifts the agenda away from areas where they believe they may be more vulnerable, such as Brexit or possibly immigration. And it also shifts the agenda away from the role of Corbyn, who is, of course, a rather divisive figure. For the Conservatives, they would prefer to focus on those issues. Labour is trying to move the agenda away, and also to give those Labour MPs who are not fully on board with the Corbyn project something to talk about on the campaign trail. And the difficulty of this is that the more policy initiatives you produce, the more exposed you are to criticism, particularly on the detail. We saw Diane Abbott struggling the other day to defend the Labour Party's initiative on policing. But I think more broadly, there's a danger with both of these parties who, let's not forget, were expecting to be fighting an election in 2020 and not now, in producing half-baked policies that don't stand up to a great deal of scrutiny. So there seems to me to be a real clash at the moment between initiatives that may represent good politics and initiatives that represent good policy. So for the Conservatives, we see policies, or them struggling to develop policies in areas like national insurance reform and the triple lock on state pensions, where good policy suggests one course of action and good politics suggests another. For the Labour Party, you're seeing them develop positions on university tuition fees, free school meals and tax rises, which may represent good politics, but again may not in the long term stand up to a great deal of scrutiny and also expose Labour MPs to questioning on the detail and particularly the funding of these schemes.